There is big talk and confirmation that Sadio Mane could be leaving Liverpool Football Club this summer. Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich are two outfits, big European clubs, looking to increase the wages of the player and offer him an exit strategy should Liverpool look to cash in. He's been looking rejuvenated in that central striker's role since the purchase of Luis Diaz. But is it about time that Liverpool Football Club reinvent that famous front three, refresh things, keep things moving forward in the pursuit of growth? Or with the quality of Sadio Mane, is it ridiculous right now for Liverpool to let him go? We're going to delve into these transfer rumors. I want your views and opinions, so leave your comments in our comment section below. Make sure the like button is being hit. Sadio Mane, could he leave Liverpool this summer? Let's do this. Christian Falk has said that it is true that Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain are hot on the pursuit of Sadio Mane. This was also confirmed via the LFC transfer room via Kicker. The Bayern Munich and Nagelsmann are interested in him. A number of major and mainstream media outlets have gone with this news as well, that Paris Saint-Germain are favourites to sign Mane if he leaves Liverpool and could tempt him with a big pay rise and the chance to play with Lionel Messi. That is the rhetoric. That is the story that is being pushed out there. And I think the question that I really have for a lot of Liverpool fans that are tuning in, and rivals are plenty, that's what the Football Terrace was invented for, is this a good move for Liverpool? Just put Mane aside for a minute. That's another conversation. Are Liverpool on the edge of having to change something? Mane, Firmino, Salah. For a period, the best front three in the world. One of the best mixtures of players. Partnerships, if you like. Normally partnerships are two, but I think partnerships can be a three as well. In Premier League history, their cohesiveness, togetherness, potency as a collective, for football fans was a joy. Whether you like watching Liverpool win or not, it was a joy to behold. It was sensational, absolutely sensational. But as the old adage goes, all good things must come to an end. Is this where Liverpool, who feign themselves on the model of having to sell to be able to buy big? Now, we know this is true. Liverpool fans will tell you this. Liverpool media will tell you this. Liverpool Football Club will tell you this. We need to sell to buy on a large scale. Is Mane's emergence, is his brilliance in the past few months, the resurgence, the Ballon d'Or talk, is it the right time to cash in on him now for Liverpool Football Club? Put all sentiment aside for how you feel about Mane. Put it all on the back burner and ask yourself this question as a Liverpool supporter. If we cashed in now and spent the money right, which Liverpool invariably do, is it the best thing for us as a football club? That's the question I've got for you. And this was something that was brought up by Simon Jordan and a man like White on TalkSport. And I want to react to what they've got to say here because I want your view on this as well. I'm not the only one that's thinking this same very thing.
Will do here, Simon. Do they stick or twist with their original famous front three this summer? Because now we're hearing, and there is strong talk of it, that Bayern Munich very interested in bringing Sadio Mane to Germany this summer. So what do they do? City are undoubtedly going big with Haaland.
Yeah.
Now, Diaz and Jota are flourishing.
Indeed they are.
So should Liverpool embrace that bit more evolution? Mane, Salah, Firmino are all out of contract next summer. You see where I'm going with this? So this front three, this famous front three, do they stick with that? Might they stick? Might it change? Mane off to Germany, maybe. Do they stick with Mane, Salah and Firmino in an ideal world? Or are they looking to change it?
I mean, I can't see why, if it isn't broke, why you'd need to fix it. I mean, Firmino is probably the least compelling of all three, even though I think he's an integral part of the link-up play that made that particular three so effective. I think Mane is an outstanding player. You do not let him go anywhere.
Yeah.
And Salah will take care of itself.
And that's an interesting take there. And you can watch more of that over on TalkSport. Of course, Simon Jordan, very popular with lots and lots of different people. But it pulls on an interesting point. Do you fix something that isn't broken? Or the other end of that spectrum, the players are getting older. There will become a point where they're not as good. Their contracts run out next year. Do you extend their contracts and essentially potentially forego all sell-on value in the future? Or do you cash in now? That is the question of this transfer. I don't think Mane is a player that's poor. I don't think it's a player that Liverpool on paper want. Actually, on paper, they might want to sell. From a footballing standpoint, you want to keep him right now. But you look at the players that Liverpool are linked with. Yes, you've got Bowen, whose name has been mentioned. Kylian Mbappe, that's raised its head again in the last few days. You know, if Liverpool knew they were bringing in somebody into that attacking line who may not be the very best in the world right now, but was right up there, somebody that everybody is buzzing over, that gives you 6, 7, 8 years of brilliance at Anfield, especially with Jurgen Klopp getting this new deal, is that better? Now, something I was told yesterday by a good friend of mine. He works. I'll give you the insight. He works at an airport. I'm not too sure exactly what he does there, but he works at an airport, but in the private facility. So where all the private jets and private planes and helicopters land into in London. And it's quite sophisticated. I have been there once for a meeting myself back in my previous life working in the private banking sector. And they have these wonderful meeting rooms. It's a very lavish little part of the airport. And he told me that Oliver Kahn landed in the UK via a private jet and had meetings with a number of football. He stayed in the hotel, in the kind of facility, went to a hotel, came back in the morning, and then flew back out again. What a life, I thought, by the way. Imagine that. You get to fly around the world in private jets discussing transfer stories. Transfer rumors. And my words are all getting muddled up. Not transfer rumors and stories, actually negotiating the transfers. Sublime. So there is talk that we know that Oliver Kahn has been in the UK. It's been kind of reported by some other outlets as well. He's been in the UK. There are talks about Lukaku. There are talks about Sadio Mane. These are real links. PSG equally. They are looking at the player. But what's really intriguing by the likes of what Christian Falk and others have said, and if you actually read, it is if Mane will leave Liverpool. It's all very much if he leaves. You see the same line there by Adam Goodwin. Everything is if he leaves. Interested in Liverpool's winger Mane from Julian Nagelsmann and Bayern Munich is real. The German Giants are thinking to bring him in next season, although it all depends on Lewandowski's departure. On top of that, it also depends upon what Liverpool want to do. I don't think Mane's got any desire to leave either, by the way. So I said earlier on, we'll park Mane. Let's come back to Mane. Does he want to leave Liverpool right now? Probably not. There's probably this part of him that thinks, why go elsewhere? And I know Liverpool fans probably already in the comments, because we're 8.5 minutes in, have already written that. And if you've lasted this long, firstly, again, if I owned YouTube, I'd change something. I wouldn't allow people to leave comments until they've got to about 90% of the way through a video. The reason I say that is the amount of times people comment on things and later on in the video it's addressed. And it's not a dig. It just makes me giggle. By the way, I'm guilty of it as well. I write things and then I continue watching. I'm like, oh, I addressed it. So I go back and delete my comments. Anyway, I digress. Mane, why would he want to leave Liverpool? He wouldn't. PSG are not as good as Liverpool, not as prestigious as Liverpool. I don't think in the next 4 or 5 years are going to win as much as Liverpool. I really don't believe that he is going to want to leave. That's my fervent belief. I don't think he will. I really, really don't. I think that he's going to want to stay. I think that he's going to want to be part of this Liverpool side that is, for me, they're at the peak. But that peak looks like it's not waning anytime soon. It's not a quick peak. It's not a flash in the pan moment for Liverpool being this good. It really isn't. And it kind of gives me a feeling of, I look at David Beckham's an example here. David Beckham, of course, did not want to leave Manchester United. Didn't want to go. And it ended up happening. He ended up going to Real Madrid. Now, he didn't want to leave. If you actually think about when he left, it was sort of what, 03, I think. Between 03 and when he left, and sort of 6-7 years later when he left Real Madrid, Man United won a lot more. He won the Super Cup in the Spanish Super Cup, internal. And I think when he just arrived, and he won the Liga once. He won one trophy in his time at Real Madrid. That Real Madrid team wasn't in, that was the Galactico era, but that Real Madrid team didn't have very many accolades to its name at all. Where if you look at Manchester United in that same time period, and we went through a little bit of a barren period. Manchester United in that period won 2, I think maybe 3 league titles in that time, at least 1 FA Cup, and a couple of league cups as well, maybe 2, maybe even 3, 2 or 3 league cups, and the Champions League. So there is this element of almost, when you look at David Beckham, there's a parallel here. Man United moved him on, not because he wasn't a good enough football player anymore, not because Manchester United couldn't have continued to have won with it. By the way, he left Real Madrid in 2007, so there wasn't the Champions League. I didn't feel right saying that, but we won a couple of league titles, we won FA Cups, we won more. Beckham would have won more trophies if he stayed at Man United, is my point. So Beckham didn't want to go, even though he got to play for one of the biggest clubs, the most prestigious clubs in the world. PSG are brilliant. Bayern Munich are a legacy club, as are Liverpool. But I don't think, around this background, I don't think Mane's going to want to leave. But this is not about Mane I'm talking about here. This is about Liverpool Football Club. Could now be the right time, with the links to players such as Rafinha, links to play. By the way, if Bayern Munich are going for Mane, maybe they're not looking at Rafinha as well. And I'm just throwing some names out there, and I'm sure Liverpool fans are more up to date with the attacking players that you're linked with. But with the younger models out there, with more years and legs remaining than Mane, would now be the right time to cash in, profit from the player that's given you the best times in the last 30 plus years as a Liverpool fan. Cash in on him now, reinvest to keep Liverpool at the top beyond Mane's time in football. That is the big question. The links are real. PSG and Bayern Munich want him, but as you as a Liverpool fan, sentiment aside, would you cash in? Now, I want your views. I want your opinions. Leave us your comments below. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.